Rolling out with the break of dawn. Canvas skies and the show goes on. Iron stakes and the hammer sound. Building dreams on this muddy ground. With sawdust running through our veins, we do it for the faces in the crowd. Step right up with R&B, 'cause this ain't just a show, it's circus history.
And howdy, everyone. Welcome to Off the Rail Podcast, your podcast for everything circus. We're your Off the Rail ringmasters. I'm R. This is B. How you doing, B?
Doing pretty good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. And today's guest, we have Katie. How you doing, Katie?
Hi, I'm doing great. Very happy to be here.
Awesome. We always like to start our show off. We ask you, basically, how'd you run away with the circus? What got you to run away with the circus?
Well, I never ran away with the circus. I was born into the circus. I'm eighth generation circus family from my father's side.
Oh, wow.
So I've been in the circus my entire life. And at 2 weeks old, I was traveling with the circus.
Very nice.
What was your first act or job into the circus since you were born into it?
Well, I was born into it. My parents were never big fans of children in the ring, so we didn't really work as children. So my sister and I went to circus school in Italy, in Verona, and we trained our hand-to-hand act there for 2.5 years. We'd been training earlier as well. We started when we were about 5 years old, just doing some acrobatics. It was mainly acrobatics, handstands, acrobatics, tumbling. And then, when I was 15 and my sister was 11, we went to circus school in Italy, where we lived there and trained for 2.5 years. And when we left there, we started work. I was 17 and she was 15. We started work in Germany in Circus Roncalli. So that our first act was what we did for 15 years, basically, hand to hand.
Very nice.
Oh, by the way, folks, my mistake. Her last name is Lacey, correct?
AZZARIO-LACEY, yeah.
Okay, sorry I didn't mention
No problem.
your last name.
All good.
So you did hand-to-hand?
So did you?
Go ahead, R.
That's right. Mainly my career was hand to hand with my sister. We were called the AZZARIO sisters. And that's what we did. Yeah, we worked together.
All right, on. Did you ever work with Ringling or
yes, I did. So first time I worked in the States was in 2011 with my sister in Circus Sarasota. We did the Circus Sarasota with Dolly and Pedro, which was an amazing experience. And the first time for us in America. So first time coming to America, I felt like we jumped into a movie. And it was just an amazing experience. Amazing experience. And then after that, when I started dating my husband, we did long distance for a little while. And then in 2015, I retired with my sister. And then I flew to Atlanta and I started my life with my husband, and I worked on Ringling Brothers, actually doing motorbike on high wire on the blue unit. And then also the aerial spheres and a bit of everything, basically all the specs and the riding the elephants and the whole Ringling experience, which was really, really amazing.
Very nice.
Very cool. So what was it like? How'd you like riding the elephants? Was that?
I mean, I'd ridden elephants before, but doing it on Ringling Brothers is a completely different experience, especially in the opening. I had the privilege to work with Jonathan Lee Iverson, fantastic ringmaster, and the way he would introduce the opening of the show and the Ringling Brothers Barnum Bailey elephants, and then the curtains would open up and all the elephants would come out, and it was just such an incredible moment. And I was on the elephants, and it's just wonderful to have experienced that, I have to say. And then I did the last 2 years, a year and a half of Legends, and then the last tour, Out of This World, which was the final show of Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey. I worked with my husband doing the fuzzy act, is what they used to call the fuzzy act, which was like a barn animal act with like kangaroos and
Uh,
donkeys and
uh,
little goats, and we worked together on that. That was a lot of fun for me. First time working with like animals. It was great.
that's awesome.
Right on. What does your husband do in
It
the
was great.
circus?
My husband is Alexander Lacey, big cat trainer and presenter, and he worked on Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey for 6 years. He was the last big cat trainer in the history of Ringling Brothers, which was an amazing honor for him.
Um,
Awesome. Yeah, Alex was a cool dude.
Yeah, definitely cool dude.
so in the 90s, what was it like traveling with your sister around, I believe, the world, right?
Yes, so I've experienced, well, my life, the circus life, every step of the way, from being born into it to traveling it to being a child to being an artist with my parents to being an artist without my parents, just me and my sister, and then flying away to my husband and working with him, and now producing. So it's really been lots of different stages. But as a kid, it was fantastic. It was just, my parents are clowns. They've worked all over the world, and we traveled with them all year. And the friendships made, the countries we visited, the people we visited, the languages we learned. I speak 6 languages. The languages we learned,
Oh
and
wow.
the whole experience of being a child on the circus is magical. Like, all my memories are wonderful, really, truly wonderful,
What's your
wonderful.
favorite country to perform in?
Performing, I would say Germany. I think Germany has the most educated circus audience in the
Uh-huh.
world, I would say. They really know what they're looking at. They really, really value very good acts. Like they know what they're looking at. They know when a show is good, when a show is a little bit less or a bit better or whatever. They're just educated. They're well educated when it comes to the circus arts. And I would say Germany is probably my favorite place to work for sure.
Right on. I just noticed you have a picture of Alex behind you.
Yep.
That's Alex, right? Yeah,
Yep.
that's
That's I just saw that. I'm like, oh hey, it's Alex.
yeah, they're
Um
in
so
in Germany.
oh yeah, there you go. Awesome. So growing up with uh parents that were clowns, I have to ask you this. We try to ask everybody this. Uh so did they do the birthday pieing?
No,
Even
no,
no, they never did?
that's
That's
exclusively a
yeah, that's a
Ringling Brothers
ringling.
thing.
That's just us. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, and
See,
yes,
all this time I never knew it was just us. I just thought it was
yes. No, it's just Ringling, and I was lucky to witness a couple of them, and I actually helped them organize my husband's once. It was
Oh, do
amazing. It was
tell. We would like
fantastic.
to
It
hear
was
that
very great.
story.
Well, as you know, Clown Alley, they know when all the birthdays are at,
Yes.
and when they are, and so they organize it. They know when it's happening. They know everyone's birthdays, and Alex, because he was there already for a few times, but they never caught him because he was clever to get away from it. This last time, he just thought they're not going to try again because they never got me in the past. So what's not? And then Asa, one of the clowns, came to me and he was like, "We have to do this. This is like our last chance to get him, and we have to get him." So then on his birthday, Alex was a little bit like, "Oh, I wonder if this is going to happen or not," but he was kind of sure. And then yeah, so I was in contact with Ace and I said, "He's in his dressing room right now. Get the guys out, get everything out." And then as soon as he walked out of his dressing room, bah, I got it in the face, and it was great. It was great. I've got pictures and videos and everything. It's
Oh, that
really,
is awesome.
Very
yeah,
nice.
really cool, funny, very funny. Yeah.
So when you when you were on the train, what was your favorite train run? Was it like winter out west?
We didn't go on the
Oh,
train.
overland. That's right.
We drove by road because we
That's
had
right.
the animals. So we had our trailer and we had the animals. So we went by road. That's right. And that's actually the only thing that I really regret not going on is the train at least once. To say I went on the
Sure.
Ringling train, but I had to drive my fifth wheel. So then there wasn't really a chance for me to go on the train.
So, what was your favorite place in the U.S.? What was one of your favorite places?
So
Mm,
there's so many, really. There are so many.
Yeah.
Favorite state is Florida, by
woohoo.
far, like by far. But I really loved Louisiana. I love the South. I love Louisiana. I love New Orleans. I love that. But I also like Boston, um, San Antonio. I love very much. Obviously, you got your New York, you got Las Vegas. There's all these cities that are just incredible, really. But for me, New Orleans, all of Florida, I love. But New Orleans and Boston, I would say, are two of my favorites.
Very nice.
Very nice.
So,
Yeah. It was I felt very lucky to be able to travel the United States, and we really went to see everything we could see. It was just great. I absolutely loved it. I miss it very much.
Did you have some of that Cajun cuisine while you were in New Orleans?
Of course, the gumbo, and yes,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah,
Café de
jambalaya.
Paris, all the beignets, and it was great. We were there in summer as well. We were there in, I think it was July or August. It was warm, and I don't know, it just, this whole feeling, it was just, there's something very special about New Orleans. I really loved
it's
it.
the
I
swamp
loved it.
air. It's the
Sorry?
swamp air.
It's the swamp air. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Swamp
That's
air and the bird-sized mosquitoes. Is that what it is?
yeah, that's it. That's the charm, for sure.
So, have you only
That's
done
cool.
hand balancing or have you done other acts?
My main career was hand to hand with my sister, and so I did that. And then in the States, I did, like I said, high wire on the motorbike on high wire, where they go up and it's like an aerial. Then I did the spheres, the aerial spheres, with a troop
Mm-hmm.
of girls, six of us. Then I worked with the animals a little bit, and I'm a singer as well, so I sang here in Germany for 2 years on a circus show,
Oh
singing
wow.
throughout the show. And then I've done, your bits and bobs as a kid, also sometimes going into the magic act and, getting into the magic box and just things like that. Magician's assistant or assisting a juggler or just little things like that. But mainly my main act was hand to hand. Yeah.
Okay.
So is there a difference? Do you get a different feel from, say, a European crowd than a U.S. crowd?
There is a different feeling, but the big difference was with Ringling is that they played in massive arenas. So the circuses here are in a tent, and obviously they don't have the crowds that an
Ah,
arena has. So let's say a big tent here might have 3,000 people, but the atmosphere in the tent is much closer. So the feeling you have with the
Much more
audience
higher
is
energy.
closer. Whereas exactly. Not really. I think the energy is very high also in the arenas, but the people are so far away from you. Where you're in the ring,
Uh,
they're so far, and you don't see them. It's just like a wall, and you just hear them. But it's like, it's like, it's just loud. It's just very loud. You don't necessarily hear the claps. It's just a loud roar kind of thing, which is also amazing. But in the States, I did miss the eye contact that you have in tenting shows here, where the people
uh,
sitting in the first row, you can see their faces. You have that eye contact, and it's more intimate, let's say, than in an arena. But the arena, when you're playing Barclays Center and it's full, it's incredible, really incredible.
very cool.
Yeah.
So growing up, um, were you home? I think you were homeschooled a lot then, or did you actually
I
go to a public school?
I did homeschooling because in Spain they have a very good. My father's Spanish and my mom's English, so in Spain they had a very good homeschooling system where you had to go and do 3 exams a year at the Spanish embassy, wherever country you were, and it was very, very well organized. Obviously, not with the internet in the 90s, but all to do with the
Right.
postal service. was all done with post. And so I was homeschooled, and 3 months a year I went to school in Spain. I stayed with my grandma for 3 months a year, and I went to proper school for 3 months, kind of to catch up a little. But it was mostly homeschooling, yeah, with my mom.
How did your friends know you were in the circus
Yes,
in
of
your proper
course.
school, or
Yes, of course
how'd
they
that
did.
go?
Um, it was always like, I still feel like that sometimes now, a little bit like the strange creature, a little bit like the odd
Yeah.
creature. Like, everyone has a lot of questions and stuff, but everyone's a bit like, you're strange. We don't really know what you are, sort of thing. Like, how come you're only here 3 months a year? Why aren't your parent? Why don't you live in a home? Why don't you? All these questions, which is absolutely normal for children to have, because we have such a unusual life, let's say, to normal people that don't travel, let's say normal, quote unquote. But it was always great. I loved school because it was such a challenge to study by yourself. When you're homeschooled, it's nice because you're with your parents in your home, whatever. But I loved having an actual teacher, and I found it so easy to be in the class where your teachers. It's just that the teachers and the work. I found the work was much easier with a teacher than with my mom. To tell you the truth.
Oh, I bet. That's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was always fun, and I have a very close family, and I loved being in one place because we were always traveling. So it was also a novelty for a little while in the year to not travel, to just be in my city. And the city, that's Gijón, that's in the north of Spain, and that's where my husband and I, we produce our own show in the Christmas season.
Oh, what show?
It's called Circo de Navidad de Gijón. It's the Christmas circus of Gijón, of
Mhm.
my city, and it's sort of like a festival where people watch the show and then they get to vote their favorite act, scanning a QR code. And then at the end of the run, it's about a month. At the end of the run, there's first, second, and third prize. So the public vote their favorite, like America's Got Talent sort of thing,
wow.
favorite act of the year. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, actually. What's great, I find, is that I've always been in the ring as an artist, to now be on the outside of the ring and produce a show and put the show together and find the acts throughout the year, and put the show together like a puzzle. And it all, up until now, this is our fourth year doing it. We've always had a great show. We've been very lucky to get very talented people and very lovely people, and the shows have always been a great success. And yeah, it's very interesting now to be on the outside of the ring. I feel very blessed because I have that knowledge of having been an artist. So when you've been an artist yourself, you understand where the art, when you're producing, where they're coming from when they tell you things like this light or that light, or it's not like this, or I'm not so happy with this, or because you've been there. I think if you haven't been in that role when you're on stage, or you can do it, of course, but when you've done it, you have a completely different
You
experience
have a
of
better
producing.
perspective of what they're going through.
Better perspective, a more like a
Hmm.
360. You understand it all. You can see how good it looks from the outside, but obviously they have to feel super comfortable, because if they don't, then they can't give. And if they can't give, then you can
And
forget
this
everything.
show's, you
You
said, a
know,
month long?
Well, with that,
it's a month.
About
It's
a
about a
month.
month. Yeah.
Awesome.
From when we start build up to pull down everything. The show this year is 17 days of shows, but I mean, I
Oh,
calculated from
gotcha.
when we arrive, build up, and then prepare everything and decorate, and then rehearsals, and then the shows, and then there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. Yeah.
so with that knowledge of producing now, do you feel that makes you a better performer then, knowing the
Um,
other side?
It would. I'm retired from performing. I don't perform anymore since
Oh, okay.
2015. But I think it would. I think it would. But I'm very passionate about. I'm the artistic director of the show, so I'm very passionate about putting the show together. It's. I work all year for that moment. The rehearsal period, there's usually 4 or 5 days, is my favorite time of year. It's
The
just great. I love
chaos and
it. Everyone
craziness
is
of it.
so. It's absolutely chaos and craziness, because I also have to organize my permits with the city council. And so I'm doing a little bit of everything. I'm doing the office work, but I'm also putting the show together. So I've got to kind of make everything work. But the rehearsal period is my favorite period. It really is, because you create something special. It's just a car park and the circus arrives. You put up the tent and the people, they come in, they watch a show, and it's magic. You create magic for the families. And then when you leave and you pull down, it's just a car park again. It's absolutely incredible. I find it to be incredible what the circus brings. The feeling that the circus brings, especially the feedback that I get from the people in my city, is the nostalgia they get of going back to being a kid, because circus is so associated to when you were a
Oh yeah.
child, right? When you were a
Sure.
kid,
Yeah.
how going to the circus made you feel as a child, and when you go back as an adult, you feel that again. I mean, I'm from the circus, but I feel it. I even feel it, and it brings me back to being a kid and how I felt growing up in the circus. So I can only imagine for people that go maybe once or twice a year, how magical that is, how fantastic that is.
Right on. So, okay, then on the other side of the coin, since you're retired, does that make you, since you know both sides, do you feel that you can connect better with the performers then, because you know their side too?
Absolutely. 100%. I have worked on shows with the artistic director being an ex-artist, and I've worked on shows with the artistic director that has never set foot on stage. Basically, they've just always been on the outside, and it's a completely different situation. Like I've had good and bad and whatnot from both sides, but 99% of the time, the artistic directors that were artists, they just get you straight away. If you say, look, this is not okay, or I don't feel comfortable like this, or what can we do, they always
They have
help.
that
They want to help,
understanding.
whether it's with, yeah, they understand. They've been there, so they understand. It has happened to us before where an artistic director says, no, we like it like this looks really nice from out here, this is how we want it. And then from the inside, you're like, I understand the look, but I've got my sister balancing on my head and I need to see what I'm
Yeah.
doing. So if I can't see, then I understand that you
Yeah.
want it to look a certain way, but I need to see what I'm doing. So do you know
Yeah,
what I
makes
mean?
sense.
Yeah, I feel very lucky to have had a career in acrobatics, to now understand what the artists want, and to make them feel the most comfortable on stage, the most comfortable, and also valued. Also valued. You have to make your artists feel valued when you work with anyone, really, in any field.
Sure.
Performers, backstage, front of house, our own team in the office. No one can do anything alone. You need a team of people around you. So you need to value who you're working with. I think that's very
Oh,
important.
absolutely.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
So
Me and B, we hate each other.
no.
No,
It
no, we
takes a
love each
special
other.
person to deal with me, and I know that. Um,
Yeah.
it's all right. Sorry. So back to your act real quick. You were the bass,
Mhm.
or did y'all? Okay.
I was the bass. Yes, yeah, and she was the flyer, as you say in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do your siblings still perform today, or is
My
everybody?
sister does. Yeah, she does. Quincy AZZARIO. She's just multi-talented. We did our career together for a very long time, and then she went on to do her own solo hand balancing act. She was actually in Circus Sarasota now, the last one that just finished,
Oh,
with her boyfriend, and they do a duo rolla act with the
Mm-hmm.
rolla underneath the thing, and they balance on it, and then they do like hand to hand on top of that. And before
oh
that,
wow.
she did a horseback, acrobatics on horses, and it was also wonderful. She's very, very talented, and she can do anything. She's one of these people that you just put her anywhere and she's just anything. She's very, very good. She's also one of the few women in our entire history that has, I think she might be the only one, a silver clown and a gold clown in the Festival of Monte Carlo with two different
Wow.
disciplines, which
Oh,
is
wow.
spectacular. Yeah, me and
That's
her
pretty cool.
won
Yeah.
we won a silver clown together in 2012 with our hand-to-hand act, and then in 2023, I want to say 24, she went with the Caselli family, and they won the gold clown, and they were the only gold clown that year to win in the festival, and it was a very big deal, and I'm very, very proud of her. She's absolutely amazing.
That's pretty cool. Now, do you and Alex have kids?
We do. We have two boys. Alexander is 7 years old, and Richard's 5 years old.
Nice. All right. Do you hope that they keep the tradition going, or?
It's a complicated one, actually. I'm a bit torn when it comes to that question, and I get that asked a lot. I'm not sure if I want them. I'm not sure if I want them to continue in the circus arts, to be honest.
It's a hard life.
Um, it's not
Yeah.
an easy life. It's not an easy life, but ultimately, it's up to them. I want them to get a very good education. I want them to study. I would love them to get into sports, but ultimately, if they have a passion for it and when they get old enough, they say, we are running away with the circus, there's nothing I can do about that. Because my father did that. My father, my granddad was a trapeze artist, and 8 generations going backwards from my father's side, and my grandma was not from circus, and she said, I don't want you to be in circus, to my dad. So she had him study and whatnot, and then he had to go to the military. He went to the military because it was mandatory back in the 70s. He went to the or early 80s, went to the military for 3 months, and then after that, he just ran away with the circus, basically,
Mm.
with his cousin, and he's 40 years now being a clown, and that's that. So it's up to them. If they decide to be part of it, then that's what they're gonna do. But
You're gonna keep
I
that
I don't.
as until they're grown.
Yeah, I don't. It's not something I'm not going to push them into the direction. I'm not going to say,
Sure.
"Hey, you need to start practicing." And no, I don't want that for them. But like I said, if that's what they want to do, as long as they're happy and they've got some studies, like a plan B. I think that's important nowadays to have a plan B when it comes to the circus.
Do
Oh
they
yeah.
help with the
Yeah.
animals?
No, they're too young to be
Okay.
around the big cats. But we live on a farm just outside of Munich, so they help with the goats and the chickens, and we have alpacas and llamas. And the farm is called Krona Farm, and it belongs to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, and we run it for them 6, 7 months a year. It's open for the public.
I'll tell you what, them big cats, more power to you. I was one of the shows. Do you know? You remember Narches? You know Narches?
Natchez works with us. He's here with us.
What?
He's
Oh, I
part
love
of our
that man. Yeah,
family.
me and him have the same birthday.
Oh,
Our
okay.
birthday the same exact. It's
He's
coming
part
up
of.
here in April.
He's part.
But I
Yeah,
don't. He's awesome.
he's
I
awesome.
was I was back. I forget what arena we were. Do you remember the arena? Well, I don't know if you were there. Your husband. It was the arena where the train yard was literally right next to it.
The one in Kentucky?
I don't
I
remember.
don't know.
Lexington?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was. Yeah.
Maybe
Kentucky.
Washington D.C. or
No, I
not.
think it was Kentucky. He's right.
I
It
think
was
it's
Lexington.
Lexington's when it's right
I was
across the
talking
street.
to. Yeah, I was talking with Narchez. We were just hanging out, and I think I was pumping out the RVs. Is what it was. And I heard a noise going. I'm like, "What's that?" And I go around the corner, and two of the cats were, we'll say, having an argument.
Yes, that
They
happens
were.
sometimes.
I went around the corner. I said, "Narchez, you might want to come around here." And he
Yeah.
says, "Oh crap!" And he went running in there. I was like, "Man, more power to you. That's a big animal."
Natchez has been with Alex for many, many years. I think is it 17 or 18 years he's been
Yeah,
assisting
he's been.
Alex, and yeah, he's like part of our family.
Yeah, we need to get him in the interview too. I love him. He was
He
with the.
has so many stories to tell.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. He used to tell me about being with the French Foreign Legion. I think
Okay.
he was. Yeah, and so yeah, me and him got along great. I love that man.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's a cool guy.
So does your father does Pappy there clown for the kids?
No, absolutely not.
No, he doesn't.
No.
No, no kid.
My dad, he's a clown, but he's not a clown at home. He's a clown
In the
when
tent.
he's on stage, but he's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not. He's my father's wonderful. He's a wonderful person. He's full of life, and everyone that knows my father loves my father. But I wouldn't say he's a clown out of the stage. No,
Oh, well,
he's like, I would say, like a Circus Rowan Atkinson, which that played Mr. Bean. Like, I never
Oh
met
yeah,
him, but
I love him.
everybody said, hilarious on screen, but in real life, pretty serious. So yeah.
most clowns,
Oh, no kidding.
are still funny and very clownish outside of their makeup.
Yes, 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 of course, but not when they're your father. When they're your
Well,
father,
true.
well, in my case, my father was pretty strict with us. Yeah, but like I said, everyone that knows him loves him, and he's a great friend. He's a wonderful friend. But as a dad, I'm very happy he was the way he was. Uh, he was he had this he was very disciplined. He
That's good.
disciplined us, but in the best way possible. In the best way
Sure.
possible. And my mother, she's a
Right.
white faced clown, and um, I mean, I would be nothing without them. Nothing. They just the most wonderful parents I could have ever hoped for, and the values they instilled on my sister and I treasure them. I really do. Value of
Sure.
family, the value of hard work, and respecting people, and yeah, it's just it's values that I hope that I am giving to my children. They're very important to me,
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
So
they're the ones that want to, do their best to get you ready for the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm very grateful. And we're very, very close. They're working in Denmark this year. So my children, they go up in summer to spend some summer holidays with them, which I think is also important for the children to spend time with their grandparents, because that's what I did with my grandma. So,
Nice.
it's the family bond for us is very important for sure.
very nice.